Watchalong here on my channel. And now here it's about the UEFA Champions League encounter between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. And out of the Parc de France, looking forward to this encounter. Let's see what the two teams do in this game, because again, a lot is expected from it. And we'll have to wait and see what factually happens in the game. Both the teams, of course, looking to try and get something favorable for them. Both the teams know that this is one of the biggest games in world football, and interesting to see what the two teams can do or can't do. And with, of course, PSG playing in their traditional blue home strip and FC Bayern playing in their home red. So therefore, none of the teams actually using their away kits. And Sandro Scherer, the match referee, hopefully will give us an encounter at the Parc de France tonight between these two giants of world football. And for Bayern, of course, it's about keeping that momentum of the last few days and weeks that they've shown. And we will see what these two teams can do. And again, we've got the poll in the background as well for us to look at and think and discuss and throw in for Bayern. And let's quickly go through the respective lineups. Safrov in goal with Achraf Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, and Mendes in defense. Emery, Vitinha, and João Neves in midfield, and PSG up front. Desiré Doué, Ousmane Dembélé, and Kvaratskhelia up front. While Bayern have Manuel Neuer in goal, Josip Stanisic, David Upamecano. Bayern on that side with Musiala. Musiala plays it out to Stanisic. Stanisic with a good cross, headed out by PSG. And Bayern only hits it back to his man. So Josip Stanisic, David Upamecano, Jonathan Tah, and Alphonso Davies in defense, with Alex Pavlovic and Joshua Kimmich in defensive midfield. Michael Olise, Jamal Musiala, as well as Luis Diaz in the attacking positions, and up front, Harry Kane, with Bayern Munich, of course, having won in Paris in the group stages. Luis Diaz getting a red, and that's will be interesting to see what happens tonight in this top encounter of the UEFA Champions League, with a lot expected from these two, as I said. And Bayern Munich win the ball, lose the ball. PSG looking to counter that. Alphonso Davies against Achraf Hakimi, and that's foul from Hakimi against the Canadian international. Davies as well to win the ball back against Hakimi. And one of those unlikely duels, as both of them have other opponents. PSG looking to play it. Manuel Neuer with the long ball forward, but ball back with Paris Saint-Germain in their backline. Hakimi. Marquinhos plays it to his keeper, who goes long. David sets it out. Pavlovic. Alex Pavlovic. Bayern lose the ball. PSG maybe with a chance to break. Zaire Emery to Kvaratskhelia. Mendes. Vitinha. Looking for Achraf Hakimi. Ousmane Dembele loses the ball. Davis. Davis trying to play slalom, finds Luis Diaz and Marquinhos. Yeah, that's a foul against the Brazilian captain. Yeah, that's more than just holding. A little bit of wrestling. But Dembele stopped by Luis Diaz. Ball headed out. And that was out, I would have thought. Yeah. Where Nuno Mendes couldn't keep it in. Bayern have the ball. Davis quite centrally with the ball. Plays it to Stanisic. Ball on the right, ball into the middle from Bayern Munich. But Mate Safanov has the ball. Bayern wins it back. Quite high intensity so far in the first few minutes. Both the teams trying to get a little bit of grip of the game. It looks difficult at the moment. Neuer out to Davis. Alphonso Davis plays it back to his keeper, who will go long. Nuno Mendes plays it across to Marquinhos. Real test of character for these two giants of European football. Top clash in the UCL. And so far, not much of goal mouth action. But the teams know you have to be careful. Times that the ball has to be played back to the respective goalkeepers. And yeah, both teams know. PSG trying to build up from the back. Vitinha out to Kvaratskhelia. Still the Georgia international. Vitinha. Oh, PSG breakthrough on the left. Ball into the middle. Cleared by Bayern. Harry Kane. Nice ball out to Michael Olise. Still in the Bayern half. Michael Olise. Kimmich. Upamecano. Across to Ta. Bayern playing calmly, quietly. It's clear. Yeah, not an easy one for both these two teams. Both attacking units amongst the best in the world. That makes it dangerous. Pavlovic against Vitinha. Pavlovic looking for Michael Olise. Oh, awkward bounce. Throw in PSG. Aaron Danks today in charge of Bayern Munich. Replacing the suspended Vincent Kompany. Ball forward. But Davis plays it back to his keeper, Manuel Neuer. Plays it long forward, but Safonov had the ball easily. PSG now trying to build up. Upamecano. Luis Diaz. Pavlovic. Upamecano. Somewhere totally different. Upamecano. Michael Olise. On the right, Michael Olise. Upamecano. Takes it back here. Back to Neuer. Neuer. Long ball forward. Yeah. Looking for Musiala. And that should be a foul. And that could be the first card of the night. Sandro Scherer having a word with Warren Emery. Yeah. Had to stop Harry Kane. And that hurt the Englishman in that situation. Free kick by Munich. About 35 yards, a little more out from the goal. Kimmich. What is he going to do? Direct? Or is he going to try indirect? Kimmich. Plays it out to Olise. Bayern lose the ball. Oh, dangerously played, but PSG have the ball. Kimi, Vitinha, Safarov, Nuno Mendes. Looking long for Ousmane Dembele. Bayern trying to keep it in. Oh, that's dangerous. From Stanisic. Chance for PSG. Bayern win the ball back. Chance now for Bayern to break. Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz. Oh, that should be a foul and a card against Marquinhos. And I love this when Marquinhos says, I didn't do anything. Marquinhos just blocks the path of Luis Diaz. Yeah. No chance to get the ball. Just blocking the man so that Luis Diaz doesn't get past him. And at the other end, yeah, Ousmane Dembele. No, loses the ball to Alex Pavlovic. Free kick, Bayern Munich. Joshua Kimmich, once again. Free kick for Bayern. Kimmich to take it. Free kick for Bayern. Important for them to assert themselves in this game. An important Vitinha clears. Corner for Bayern Munich. From the left, they've got the guys. Jonathan Tah, that Upamecano. Not to forget Harry Kane. Alex Pavlovic scored a smart one against Real Madrid. Kimmich with the corner. And Safonov keeps it out. Cleared by João Neves. Davis. Oh, Davis. Plays it back to his keeper. Olise. Olise. Ta. Stanisic. That's a good way to go ahead. Josip Stanisic breaks free. On the right, Josip Stanisic waiting for options. Waits for Michael Olise. Back to Fine. Play back to Jonathan Tah. Upamecano. Back to Neuer. Manuel Neuer looking for Harry Kane, but Pacho does just enough to clear his lines. Vitinha. Out to Hakimi. Doué. Oh, someone slips. Chance maybe. Jean Neves plays it to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia across and headed out by Fonzo Davis. Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz with the counter-attacking move. Luis Diaz. It's still Luis Diaz. Leaves it for Olise. Plays it across to Harry Kane. Kimmich. That's a chance. And that should be a penalty for Bayern Munich. It's a penalty for Bayern Munich. "15 minutes on the clock." Was it Pacho or was it Marquinhos? Let's see that again. Kimmich. And oh. No. It's only the leg from Pacho against Luis Diaz. It's a penalty for Bayern Munich. 15 plus minutes. Could it be advantage for the Bavarians? Roshan, I would say yes, because he gets the man, doesn't get anything of the ball, and Pavlovic against Dembele, not enough. Not enough as a contact. Roshan. Penalty for Bayern. And Harry Kane against Safarov. First big moment of this tie. Harry Kane sends him the wrong way. It's the first goal of the tie for Bayern München. It's none other than Harry Kane giving Bayern Munich the lead. And the Bavarian fans celebrate. It's PSG 0, FC Bayern 1. Yeah. Harry Kane waits for the keeper to decide which side he's going and then just puts it coolly, slots it in. It's the quality of Harry Kane. That's why the England captain is so loved in Munich. And it's advantage Bayern early on in this encounter. Pacho with the foul on Luis Diaz. Willian Pacho. And the Bavarians, the more active of the two teams in these first 18 minutes. Been trying more. PSG looking to counter. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Back to Vitinha. Vitinha looks for, but stays in the PSG lines. Nuno Mendes is playing. Another chance for Bayern. That is Michael Olise. Saved on the line by Marquinhos. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. Foul not given. Let's see that again. Oh, that's a brilliant pass, but lovely save by Safanov. At least in my list, he's on it. Nuno Mendes playing as a left back, and he's got the ball at the moment here in my stream, Roshan. So that's Scalia up front, but it's PSG playing, building up from the back. Safanov. Stanisic. Michael Olise. Harry Kane out to Stanisic. Bayern want to utilize this. PSG look a little shocked. Nicely played by Bayern. Musiala. Musiala plays it out too. Juicy as, and there's no one in the middle, cleared by PSG. PSG steal the ball once. Chance for a counter-attacking move for Paris Saint-Germain at their own home. Vitinha. Doué. Desiré Doué. And again, Alphonso Davies, who surprisingly got the nod ahead of Konrad Laimer. And he's playing a very, very good game so far. Ball back to Neuer. 21 minutes on the clock. Paris Saint-Germain 0. FC Bayern München 1. All to play for. Oh, that's a foul on Harry Kane. Let's see that again. Pacho following Harry Kane. And there the chance for Michael Olise to make it 2. Oh. Safanov lucky that the inside of the hand is there. But on the other side, yeah, without Marquinhos, that ball would have gone in. Important save from the captain. I don't know, the ball at the other end. Safanov. Bayern have the ball back. Oh, chance to break. Ball forward to Ousmane Dembele. And he misses the target. First chance for the FIFA Footballer of the Year. Mistake from Bayern. High line. Dembele. Maybe, as you say, Roshan, what a finish. It's just the quality of Manuel Neuer. And just Manuel Neuer being in goal, I think, scares you off maybe as a striker. PSG with the ball. Vitinha. Nuno Mendes. Back to Vitinha. Marquinhos. Achraf Hakimi. Back to Marquinhos. Pacho. Dembele looking for Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia! And it's 1-1. As you say, Roshan. Too easy. And it's 1-1 in Paris. Kvaratskhelia celebrating the goal. And in the PSG stands, the fires are burning. Richard Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, one cut in against Stanisic. Too easy against Josip Stanisic. And there's no support from Kimmich or from Jonathan Tah. And Kvaratskhelia into the far corner. Manuel Neuer. Maybe younger Neuer would have gotten that one. Bayern Munich, that's offside. From Musiala. 1-1 after 25 minutes. It's been an exciting match so far. Good game so far. And advantage Bayern, I would have said. But the result says something else. The result says 1-1. All to play for in this tie. Stanisic. Runs a throw in. Stanisic with the throw in. Cleared by PSG. Oh, only as far as Harry Kane. Kane wins it, loses it. Nuno Mendes plays it back to his keeper, who's under pressure from Musiala, but is able to clear his lines. PSG can't get to it. Pavlovic, Davis, Tah, Upamecano. Upamecano back to his keeper, and Manuel Neuer taking no chances. Chance for Bayern. Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz cutting in as he likes to do as well. Luis Diaz can't get it across to Stanisic. Olise to Stanisic. Touch wasn't good from Stanisic. Felix Magath told Olise more complete and more unpredictable to Robin. Yeah, Roshan, I actually agree in that way. With all the technology and other things that are possible today, Michael Olise is the more unpredictable player. And is showing that as well. PSG on the right. Maybe with an attempt blocked by Bayern. And now at the other end, Luis Diaz against Marquinhos. Luis Diaz now more centrally. The Colombia international looking for Michael Olise. Back to Stanisic. Upamecano. Sorry, Tah. Upamecano, Tah. Davis. Musiala. Musiala against Marquinhos. Musiala stays down. Referee doesn't give a foul. Vitinha. João Neves. PSG with the ball. Hakimi and Manuel Neuer. Hakimi, the ball too close to the keeper. No chance for Ousmane Dembele to get to it. 28.5 minutes on the clock. It's 1-1 at the Parc des Princes between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. Nuno Mendes and Kvaratskhelia can't get to it. Throw in Bayern. Stanisic back to Upamecano. He's going to play it to his keeper, no? Or is he going to play Jonathan Tah? Yeah. Tah plays it to his keeper. Manuel Neuer goes long, but none of the Bayern guys are going to get it. Pacho back to his keeper. Ashraf Hakimi. Back to Marquinhos. Pacho. Nuno Mendes. Desiree Doué against Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Ashraf Hakimi. Is it back to Ousmane Dembele on the edge of the box, blocked. There's a Bayern Munich player down. And Pacho blasts it. Oh. Let's see that. Yes, Pavlovic. No. Forget talking about a handball. Yeah, that hurts. You lose your breath for a second, and that it's not a nice feeling to have. Bayern Munich build up from the back. Manuel Neuer in the end with the long ball. Mendes heads it out. Tah. Long ball. Looking for Luis Diaz. Gets to Luis Diaz. Oh, it does well. Beats one, beats two. Stanisic. Olise. Michael Olise. On the line, Michael Olise. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. And that's an own goal. No, it's not. PSG, really lucky. What a move from Michael Olise on that right attacking flank. Beats Nuno Mendes. Beats Marquinhos. Keeps the ball in. And it hits someone at PSG. Desiree Doué. Just wide. The chances at both ends. What a move from Doué. Bad touch in the end. But earns his team a corner. Ousmane Dembele. And that's 2-1 for Paris Saint-Germain. It's João Neves making it 2-1 for PSG. Goal for PSG. It's 2-1 for the Parisians. Let's see that corner again. Neves. Oh, it's good technique. And Musiala doesn't stay with his man. Neuer again. Could have maybe gotten it. Two-one Paris Saint-Germain. 33.5 minutes on the clock. Second goal for Neves in this Champions League. But again, all to play for in this tie between these two. There are chances at both ends. Olise keeps the ball in. Pavlovic, Michael Olise, Harry Kane, Michael Olise. Blocked shot. PSG maybe with a chance to break. And that should be a foul. Not given. Dembele blocked. Let's see that again. What happens there? And then it is Upamecano. And there's a Bayern Munich player down. Can't see who it is. Looks like Jonathan Tah, yeah. It is Jonathan Tah. See that again. Oh, looked like a foul to me. Ousmane Dembele. And the PSG fans celebrating at the moment. They're leading 2-1. Throw in for PSG on the right. Ball with Bayern. Davis. Neuer with the long ball. Chance for Bayern to break. Musiala. Plays it to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz. Should be. Oh, no. And missed the chance, but they win the ball back. Davis. Plays it to Pavlovic. Alphonso Davis. Blocked by PSG. Maybe a chance to break. Now for PSG. Hakimi. Dembele. Good ball to there's Doué. Misses the target. Désiré Doué. Yeah, Bayern risking a lot. Need to be more clinical. Luis Diaz. Diaz plays it across to Olise. Michael Olise. Pavlovic. Ball out to Davis. Pavlovic. Looking for Michael Olise. Ball to Stanisic. Into the middle, cleared by PSG. Nuno Mendes. Chance to break. Looks at the other side. Doué. Dembele. Both the sides with the ball. PSG. Squadscalia. Neves. Pacho. Vitinha. Hakimi. Pacho. Neves. Mendes. Kvaratskhelia against Stanisic. Stanisic does well and wins the duel. That's a good ball for Josep Stanisic. Stanisic on his own. Stanisic! And that should be another penalty. It's not given. I hope VR is there. Because I'd like to see that again. But we don't have time. There's so much speed in this match. Ball's gone out. Referee says no. But I'd like to see that again. Ball with Bayern. Pavlovic. 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 Davis. Kimmich. Out to Michael Olise. Olise plays it back to Upamecano. Upamecano to the other side to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz. Being pushed by Ashraf Hakimi, but stays on the ball. Luis Diaz. Ta. Back to Luis Diaz. Kimmich. Upamecano. Out to Stanisic. Out to Olise. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. Bayern Munich in the box. Pavlovic. Stanisic. Back to Pavlovic. PSG try to clear their lines. Upamecano. Ta. Kimmich. Ta. Pavlovic. Kimmich. That's Michael Olise. What a strike from Michael Olise! It's 2-2 at the Parc de France. Michael Olise with the 2-2 for Bayern Munich in the 41st minute. What a strike from Michael Olise. It's 2-2 at the Parc de France. And this game has it all. Olise in the middle. Too much of space. Stefanov commits to a side. Olise sees it and just bangs it in. What a strike for Bayern Munich. Michael Olise. It's 2-2. And this match is building up to be, yes, one of the best games of this Champions League season. Amongst others, Bradley Barcola warming up. Bayern Munich win the ball back. Luis Diaz to João Neves. Pavlovic wins the ball. Olise. Pavlovic. Kimmich. Ta. Davis. Diaz. Kimmich. Upamecano. Across to Michael Olise. And Pavlovic can't get to that ball. Good game of football between these two. Really quality. The best that club football in the world can offer at this moment in time. What these two teams are offering us tonight at the Parc de France. Pavlovic. Kimmich. Ta. Musiala. Musiala angry because the referee's in the way. Sandro Scherer. Yeah. Swiss referee in the way. Ball out to Olise. Michael Olise against Nuno Mendes. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. And that should be a corner. Oh. I thought that was a corner. Yeah, thought so. Nearly 44 minutes played. It's 2-2 between PSG and Bayern Munich. And what a game it's turning out to be. PSG in the lines. Olisa with the final touch. Throw in. PSG. Yes, Utsav, good evening. And great match for neutrals. Even for, I think, PSG and Bayern fans, it's a good game of football. It's really amongst the best that you can get. PSG into the danger area and cleared by Jonathan Tah. Corner for PSG. Hakimi. And cleared. 1 minute of added time. It's 2-2 between these two. Corner Dembele headed on. At the other side, Nuno Mendes chips it. Kvaratskhelia. Dembele. Dembele wants a handball against Davis. Kvaratskhelia. And Manuel Neuer has the ball. Long ball forward to... Someone has to come out. Oh, I'm going to quickly take the throw in. Let's see that from Davis. Ooh, it's tricky, Fonzie. But the hand is on the body. He's asking everybody else to move. The venue of the final is Budapest. What's up? Penalty check happening. Let's see. We are explaining the referee something. I don't know what it is. Sandro Scherer. And he's looking at it himself. See what he sees. No, for me, it's not a penalty. No, it's not a penalty. Not a pen. First, again, it hits the arm. It's, I don't know. It's none of these cannot cut off the arm. Yeah, but the hand, isn't the arm too close? To me, the question is, isn't the arm too close? So penalty Paris Saint-Germain in added time of the first half. A lot of discussions around that pen. Could this be a Manuel Neuer moment? Love to be. Hi, Kumar. Welcome back. 2-2 between these two, and it is Usman Dembele against Manuel Neuer. Dembele. And it's 3-2 for PSG. And I'm not sure. I don't know. It's to me is it's not a penalty. Then I've got one or two other situations. I want to see that foul on Stanisic, which is not given. And Manuel Neuer nearly got to it. Nearly got to all three of the goals, I'd say. Just before halftime, bitter, yeah. Sehr, sehr bitter, Roshan. Very, very bittersweet because too soft, too soft. And again, one of those decisions which are debatable. The goal from Kane opened up 100%. That goal opened up this encounter. And 3-2 to PSG. Oh, that was a half. And good half of football. And both the teams know it's a penalty where Alphonso Davies moved one of his hands from the ball side of his body to the front side of the body. He did want it, even though it threw the body first. Okay, Kumar. If it hits somebody and then hits the arm, is then the question is intentional. You're talking about intentional handball, right? Is it then intentional or is it not intentional? Then the discussion shifts, right? That's the problem of these sort of handball situations. Like, hmm, is it really or is it not? And to me, this it's too hard. And again, I didn't see the Stanisic situation. I want to see that Stanisic situation again with that foul at the other end, which wasn't then given and looked at, right? So anyway, it's one of those things you can't influence, and yeah, it's given. It's given, so you can't change it. And it's 3-2 PSG. Um, interestingly, expected is it? Yeah, expected goals. PSG 1.64 to 1.28 for Bayern. Um, and yeah, it's one of those games where we're interesting to see what happens in the second 45 because yeah, 5 goals already in the first 45. A lot of expectations built, and PSG looked more execution. Ban was in some situations too overthink in front of the goal. Yeah, we're better. PSG were better with the execution and were more clinical. Maybe is the word, Roshan. And Bayern, yes, in one of the opportunities, and a little bit of luck. No, but I think twice the post as well saved it for them. Yes, it has to be said, but again, I think all to play for in this encounter between these two, and it's been a good, exciting game of football, I would say. It has lived up to its billing so far, I would say, this game. And again, if I look back what we were watching in the afternoon in the Indian Super League between East Bengal FC and Odisha FC, then yeah, different world altogether in regard to quality overall, and therefore that has to be kept in mind. So therefore, yeah, very good first half of football at the Parc de France. But again, Paris Saint-Germain 3-2 ahead against FC Bayern München. And the Bavarians. Let's see what they do, what they try and do at the break. Is it Jared Olise from East Bengal? He's more the Harry Kane, Roshan, I would say. He quickly get up once because Ezejari with 2 goals, deciding the tie, and in that one earlier in the day, so to say, in India, or rather yesterday on Tuesday, very clearly, East Bengal in a situation now where they find themselves in. Um, that they are fighting for the title. Well, Odisha FC at the other end, only 3 points out of Mohammedan Sporting, fighting for survival. You know, um, and then so therefore that's something which is there. And to me, um, yeah, interesting to see what happens in the coming days in regard to the Indian Super League, and we'll keep on watching that. But now we're back to Champions League football, where Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, 5 goals in the first 45 minutes, which ended with a VR decision and in favor of PSG. And they'll surely be happy with this result, because if they could take an advantage to Munich, that would be good, even if it's 1 goal only. But again, advantage is advantage. And I think PSG at the moment would love to take that advantage to Munich, because Bayern is going to try and hit back in the second 45. And that's going to be very, very interesting to see what actually factually then happens. And FIFA has made it clear that if first is the body, then no penalty whatsoever. Why FIFA need to make clear? Kumar, the handball rule isn't by now so complicated. I don't even know if all the referees actually know it. I sometimes feel that the referees also don't know it, because if that, you know, that's the confusing thing, that the rules need to be made clearer, and therefore I don't know. You know, I voted for PSG winning today, but think Bayern turns it around in the second leg. Okay, Roshan. Yeah, let's see. Again, all to play for so far in this tie between these two, and it's now a question of what do they do. Um, does it continue at this pace? So that would be the first question that I would have. Can these two, or will these two continue at this pace as they've done in the first 45? Because that was high voltage football. Not only 5 goals, but it could have been 4-4, 5-5 even. So both teams had that many chances, and yeah, and it's been quality all over, and it's it's just a great game of football to watch, and that's the joy of this game so far, I would say. And therefore, for us as football fans, enjoy these kind of games, enjoy these kind of matches, because we don't have enough of them in regard to this quality. And they're just showing the penalty again to me. You know, um, Still not enough as a penalty for me, but yeah, difficult one, and now the question is, what's going to happen in the second 45? We're Bayern defending like this against Real in the second leg. Uh, no, I think they were better today than they were against Real Madrid the other day, and that shows you how good the attacking line of PSG is. But again, it's also corner is a question, right? Bayern have had problems with corners, and then of course the um, the third one with the penalty call. In Sony Live, the commentator said that same thing I said about Olise. He's not showing anything like that in the Crystal Palace. Okay, I don't know what he said, and I don't know what you are saying. Kumar. So to me, yeah, all to play for, as I say, and it's been exciting game of football so far at the Parc de France between these two, and to me, yeah, I think nothing won, nothing lost, and that's the charm of the game so far. And interesting pieces of stats. What do we have? Bayern Munich have 233 to PSG 222 passes. 2-1 corners, supposedly 9-3 shots in favor of PSG. Okay, then I missed a few for Bayern, or some of them were not counted. And at the moment, as I say, all to play for between these two. What options do the two teams have on the bench? PSG have as backup goalkeepers Lucas Chevalier, Renato Marin. Lucas Beraldo is on the bench. Ilya Zabarny, Lucas Hernandez, of course, used to be at Bayern. Fabian Ruiz, Kangin Lee, Seni Mayulu, Dro Fernandez, the youngster that they brought in from Barcelona, Gonzalo Ramos, Bradley Barcola, as well as Ibrahim Mbaye. Meanwhile, Bayern have Jonas Obich, Sven Ulrich as backup keepers, Min Jae Kim, Hiroki Ito, Konrad Leimer, Dennis Ofli, Filip Pavic, Leon Goretzka, and Nicholas Jackson on the bench. Of course, teenager Leonard Kahl, as well as youngster Tom Bischoff, both missing the tie due to injury, as is Serge Gnabry, who's going to miss the World Cup as well due to the serious injury that he picked up a few weeks ago. And so, therefore, yeah, we're interesting to see what Bayern Munich now do in this game. What do they change? What do they make? And that's going to be interesting. Olise was nowhere near the level of Bayern in Crystal Palace. He was just a player like any other player in Crystal. He showed in Bayern that he's top class player in the world in the wingers. Yeah, Kumar is the development over the last year, right? The development over the last year that Michael Olise has shown at Bayern is just phenomenal, to say the least. Right? He's become one of the best players in the world, and that's, to think of that is just insane. And yeah, and he's showing his qualities, and yeah, it's just exceptional, to say the least. And it's one of those players that yeah, that I think with the right move can get better, right? Harry Kane, I would also like to mention. I mean, was a top player at Tottenham, never won anything, but since Harry's come to Bayern, he's just exploded. Same about Olise, and of course also about Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz was a good player at Liverpool, but Luis Diaz wasn't as good as he is now, right? So therefore, yeah, Vincent Kompany has worked with this team. Um, he's made the players better. Surely he's made a lot of these players better, and great to see the quality that Bayern Munich have had or have um, in this team. And to go to Paris Saint-Germain, play like this, um, hold them to a draw so far is a big statement. And it'll be interesting to see what the second half brings. 3-2 to Paris Saint-Germain in this encounter. And once more, the reminder, if you're liking this watch along, of course, not the usual ones on the Indian Super League, but tonight's is on the UEFA Champions League. Do leave a like behind, share it with others. And if you are not a member yet, do please become a member of the arunfoot family. Thank you. Early in the day, East Bengal versus Odisha FC, over 4,100 views of that. Thank you. And we stand at 4,295 subscriptions here on arunfoot. So our family is growing. And yeah, that's something that I'm very happy, and to support the channel in whatever way you can. And also, as I also like to say, do watch my short videos that I try and make on a regular basis. Did something yesterday on the sort of a 10th match week review of the ISL South Women Championship as well. And um, yeah, and I look forward to that. Now, Harry Kane was also shown his class in Tottenham Hotspur, but here the team around him is completely, and the coach made the difference. Kumar, I think I would disagree on that point, because I would think that Harry Kane, yes, was always a good player, but he's become a better player at Bayern Munich. Yes, of course, his teammates are much, much better. No doubt about it. His coach is better. The surroundings are better. He's at a much bigger club, with all due respect to Tottenham Hotspur. But Harry Kane has changed his game as well. Harry was dependent on Jun Min Son, and those two were sort of creating havoc up front and people around them. Now he drops, he plays around, allows people to come in. Again, it's a totally different Harry Kane, in my opinion, a much more complete Harry Kane. than what we used to see in the past. Did you see the Hoeneß interview where he talked about company Nagelsmann Tuchel? Yes, I saw the. I've seen it quite a few interviews. One was, of course, with the Bavarian chief minister, and uh, that is something with Markus Söder, and yeah, it was quite clear, quite very critical of Thomas Tuchel, to some extent also of Nagelsmann, and of course very praising of what um, Vincent Company has done in the last few weeks and months. Just exceptional at Bayern, what has been achieved under him, and we're very interesting to see in the coming days and weeks how that evolves at Bayern. No, please, in some podcast. Kumar, yes, I know. I've been pending. I've got a few people that I'd spoken to, and then something or the other happens with that person or myself, and then we don't do those interviews, and it gets pushed. Hopefully, I'll be getting you some interviews in the coming weeks. And I'm not going to talk about who. Again, I will only talk about interviews or put them online, and then we'll see. I'm not going to talk about who I am talking to about these conversations that I'm having. On a regular basis with people, and that's the thing. But I'll be doing something. Yeah, Konrad Leimer getting ready to come on. I guess could be a substitution for maybe Josip Stanisic, who had his problems. Yeah. No, sorry, Alfonso Davis going out. Okay, that's an interesting one. And Serge Gnabry joins the team on crutches. Sad to see that. Would have surely helped Bayern at this stage of the season. Marquinhos, the man, I think the only one who's got a yellow card so far. Yeah, he has. And interesting to see. Uh, yeah. Um, and Kumar, I'm talking about Roshan and I are talking about Uli Hoeneß, sort of, who's the former sporting director, general manager at Bayern, who spoke about Vincent Company. Kickoff, Bayern Munich. And they directly go into attack. Opala. And ball back to Bayern. Bayern playing from right to left. PSG from left to right. And the question is now, what can the Bavarians do? Can they change something about this result? 3-3 would be perfect, I would think, going out. And Marquinhos. I mean, Hakimi. So in PSG is back in their own lines. PSG on the left, Swanskelia. And the throw in against Upamecano. Swanskelia opened the scoring tonight in this game. PSG in their own half, their own lines. Swanskelia and Upamecano. Upamecano wins the ball. Michael Olise. Important. with Bayern. Kimmich. Leimer. I'm trying to play the ball through. Diaz. Luis Diaz. Kimmich. Plays it back to his keeper, Manuel Neuer. Long ball forward. Both the teams trying to figure out what's the best way in this game to keep control. Bayern maybe with the chance. PSG clear their lines. In some time. Bayern need to be more clinical. I think Roshan said it very well in that way. But need to figure out ways how to score. Musiala brought down by Pacho. Free kick. Yeah, that's a card. Ball out to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz, and PSG steal the ball. Squadskelly at the other end. Upamecano. It's all happening suddenly in this match. Yeah, and that's the speed of the players at both ends. Both the teams trying their best to control things. It's not easy. Both of them looking to score. Again, PSG want a fourth, Bayern want a third. Leimer wins the ball. Plays it to Kimmich. Musiala out to Diaz again. Against Marquinhos. But the ball is out at the other end. Bayern. Have to be careful. The situations are avoidable for the German champions. PSG. Bayern with the ball. Back to Ta. Leimer. Pavlovic. Musiala. Musiala out to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz looking. Harry Kane can't make anything out of that opportunity. Good chance for Bayern. Chances at Bayern Munich are trying to up the pressure. Again, once more, control of the game. Lima. Harry Kane out to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz against Marquinhos. Harry Kane! No, it was Konrad Lima. Lima hits the side netting. Chance for Bayern. Big chance for Bayern. Stefanov with a goal kick for PSG. Bayern win the ball back. Upamecano clears his lines. Once a free kick does not get it. Yeah, sometimes you don't get the free kicks that you want. Ball with PSG. 54 plus minutes. 3-2 for the team from Paris. Doué. Hakimi. João Neves. Hacho. João Mendes. Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia. Manuel Neuer with the back pass. Has to clear that one. Takashi withdraw from ISL. No, they're not. At least not for the moment, let's put it this way. What happens in the summer? Let's discuss in the summer. Asian Ban trying to control things. 4-2 for PSG. Oh, Salah missed that one. Let's see the replay. And looks once more. Kvaratskhelia with the goal. Yeah, we're having some internet problems over here. Sorry for that. Ball out. Kvaratskhelia. Ashraf Hakimi and Kvaratskhelia from the other side. Manuel Neuer commits to the long side and the ball goes short. 4-2 for PSG. That's now a big advantage for the Parisians. Bayern Munich need a goal. Paris Saint-Germain back in attack. Doué. A little bit of pressure. Clear their lines. Stefanov. Marquinhos. Plays it back to his keeper. 57 plus minutes on the clock. Lima. Pavlovic. Back to Pavlovic. Bayern now need a goal. 2-goal advantage. That would be big for PSG. And that's the danger for the Bavarians now. Counter-attacking moves, PSG. They will like that. Dembele, and that's in the goal. 5-2, Ousmane Dembele. Bayern 2 open at the back. And PSG have a 3-goal advantage at home. Ousmane Dembele with his goal. And Vincent Kompany looking not too happy in the stands. He cannot be happy in the stands because that simply was too easy for Dembele. Yeah, Utsav asking a very valid question why no one is marking him. And do a lovely technique. And Dembele through the legs of Dayot Upamecano, and Manuel Neuer stunned. Bayern will do a comeback second leg. Even they're capable of even doing a comeback now. That's the crazy one at the moment. There were 3 goals down in Mainz on Saturday and won 4-3. So but they have to be careful. They're too open. These 2 goals were too easy for PSG in this encounter. And Bayern need a goal, in my opinion. And that's now the challenge. Yeah, Upamecano and Neuer. Yeah, flat-footed in that situation. Too easy, too easy, too easy. Bayern under real pressure now. That's 3 goals is a heavy, heavy drawback. Yes. Pavlovic. Lima gets stuck. Marquinhos. Sorry, Ashraf Hakimi goes down. Yeah, too easy the goals. And Fabian Ruiz set to come on for PSG. Long ball forward. And that's going to go out. Throw in Bayern on the left. 61 plus minutes on the clock. It's PSG 5, FCB 2. But the Bavarians have shown this season multiple times. They've not conceded 5, that has to be honestly said, but they know how to score. And that's going to be the quest for the Bavarians. Can Michael Olise, can the others do something with this? Musiala, Jamal Musiala, Olise, out to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz, Luis Diaz, Luis Diaz. And Safonov has the ball in the end. Luis Diaz does brilliantly against Marquinhos and Ashraf Hakimi. Musiala being playmaker was not involved much. Yeah, again, Jamal is still not 100% fit. Serge Gnabry missing this tie surely is a drawback, but now Bayern have to show character. Kimmich out to Olise. Michael Olise. Michael Olise. Pavlovic. And Dembele, Lima. And Bayern Munich need to be better than what they're showing at the moment. It's not good enough. And they need more. And they need goals. The Bavarians. That's the challenge. 5-2 PSG. That would be a statement win if it stays this way for the French champions. And again, a game I need not only one goal, I would say a couple of goals would be better. Question is, where are they? How will they get it? Fabian Ruiz coming on for PSG for Warren Zaha-Emery. The youngster being replaced by the Spanish European champion. Bringing on experience. Free kick by Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich. Upamecano! It's 5-3. Dayot Upamecano. Steven says goal. It's like a stool match game. No, it's not. It's just that the two best attacking lines are playing against each other. And the defensive players are just not doing their job somehow or the other. 8 goals in this tie. Incredible. Very poor defending and goalkeeping. Yeah, could be said. 5-3. And that result looks better to me than the 5-2. And we've got a match on again. And Bayern are capable of scoring 2 more. But PSG is also capable of scoring 1 or 2 more. Harry Kane wins the ball. Harry Kane looking for Michael Olise. Nuno Mendes under pressure. Ruiz, Mendes. It's an intense game of football by both the teams. Crazy, crazy intensity from these two sides in this encounter, this level of football. Really crazy, to say the least. Harry Kane. Harry Kane. Yeah, should be a foul. It's another one. João Neves this time with the foul. Against Harry, yeah. And Nuno Mendes in the replay against Michael Olise. Free kick once more. Joshua Kimmich did the same thing 2 minutes ago. Can he do it again? That's the question now at the Parc des Princes. Can Kimmich do it again? Very intense encounter between these two. And what can these two teams do? That's the question now. Because it's very clear. Another goal here or there changes the things, and most probably it has changed again. Bayern Munich 5-4. What is happening at the Parc des Princes? Crazy game of football, just crazy. If you thought Bayern against Real Madrid the other night in Munich was crazy, then this is even more next level. I think I would think it's all to play for in this encounter. And Bayern are capable of these crazy things. And that's the challenge now in this one. Bayern Munich trying to get back. Michael Olise. Bayern lose the ball again. So let's clear. Harry Kane. Luis Diaz. Oh, that's one for the Luis Diaz. Luis the fourth for Bayern. And the lineswoman says offside. But we are. Let's see that again. No, it was never ever offside from that Harry Kane pass. And just does what he does with Marquinhos. 5-4. And as I said a few minutes ago, all is possible in this game. And PSG now need to be careful that they don't concede a fifth. Bayern Munich are now on the hunt, this time again given offside. And what a game of football it is. And Luis Diaz against Marquinhos. It's not just some random defender. It's Marquinhos, right? That Luis Diaz is playing around with. Unbelievable. Unbelievable football at the Parc des Princes between these two. And to me, Bayern Munich have the opportunity. Yeah, Raj, Bayern Munich come back. Bayern Munich are there now to get back into the game. I would not be surprised if Bayern now score a fifth. What a game of football. I thought after Dembele goal was over. Raj, I said Bayern Munich have had some crazy games in the last few weeks. And yeah, and 2 goals, 3 goals. It's just insane. Insane what these two teams are playing. And to me, this is just insane attacking football from both the teams. 5-4 for PSG. Oh, that's a foul. Yeah, that's a foul against Joshua Kimmich. And it's 5-4. Still can't believe the result. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If it's Bayern, you see multiple goals. Yeah, you see multiple goals. Very true. and they seem to be able to outscore their opponents. That's the crazy part, that they have this belief in them that they can score four, five, six. Um, it's just crazy to see at the moment this game of football at the Parc des Princes. What these two teams are playing, just incredible football, just incredible, crazy to say the least. 5-4 PSG still, and Bayern are on the hunt. Olise, 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 and Fabian Ruiz concedes a corner, and that's always dangerous for both these teams. Bayern ready for the corner. Referee has a word with some of the players. Someone down. I think it's Pacho who went down. Crazy, crazy game. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. Still, the mentality to fight back when your three goes down is something Arsenal need. What's up? Who are you comparing with whom? You're comparing Bayern Munich with Arsenal, with all due respect, right? I mean, Bayern Munich this season is on a different planet where Arsenal, even, with the Invincibles, never have been. Bayern with another corner. Overcooked. Cleared by PSG. Yeah, PSG is just clearing. That's the crazy part. The Bayern is playing on and on and on. And PSG are just fighting to survive. Most insane game of football. And even that chance was danger. It's all happening in Paris. Oh, Jonathan Tah actually kept the ball in. And Safanov had to make the save because there were players lurking in the backgrounds. English clubs are nowhere near it. Yeah, Raj, I mean, I was listening to the Restless Football podcast a few days ago. Or was it last week, I think, or the week before, where Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer were you know, having a real go at the Premier League and Premier League clubs and the way they play football. And therefore, that's something which is, needs to be mentioned. I don't think many people will talk about it, but that's the reality of things at the moment. And yeah, Bayern Munich trying to build up again. Lima. It's just insane. Bayern are going all out to try and get another goal. I must say the best ultras are in Germany. I'm very careful about this whole ultras thing, Raj, because there's a lot of negativity attached to ultras as well. A lot of trouble with ultras in the recent past, or there is a lot of trouble with ultras. So therefore, I don't know. It's very glorified, and I'm very, very, very careful about it. Lima looking long for Harry Kane. Pacho, and that should be a foul on Harry. Yeah. Referee Sandro Scherer getting away with a limited number of cards. Might have picked one or more here or there, in my opinion. Yeah, Harry keeps the ball. Luis Diaz. I can't get it into Kimmich. Harry Kane plays it to Kimmich. Kimmich out to Olise. And Throwing Bayern. Ball with Bayern. Oh, Fabian Ruiz gets a yellow card on a foul on Michael Olise. And it looks like Jamal Musiala coming off. Leon Goretzka, his replacement. Adds a little bit more physicality. Leon, of course, more physical, stronger than Jamal. Another corner for Bayern. PSG under constant pressure. Bayern closer on the 5 to the 5-5 than PSG with the sixth. Ball into Safonov. The atmosphere created by my fans is way more intense than others. Yeah, that's also true. Real Madrid late night. Yeah, 20. Yeah, it's prime Real Madrid. I agree. I totally agree. This is. But again, Real Madrid. Sometimes again, some Real Madrid fans will hate me for saying that, but um, this Bayern team has that mentality and fights to fight. Uh, yeah, that's true. And I don't think even these new Real Madrid players have this. No, they don't. They don't have that mentality. They're not even clear, near that mentality, and that's something which is clearly visible. And yeah, this is different level. I have to honestly say, respect what Bayern have been playing, and this is insane what we're seeing in Paris tonight. And again, Bayern Munich trying to combine their way forward. They want to now play football. They want to get into this game. Ta, Diaz, Kimmich, Pavlovic, Kimmich, Pavlovic. Man, I don't think even these new have this. No. Utsav, they don't. Real Madrid is not. Real Madrid has some very good individual players, but Real Madrid doesn't have a team. And I think that's also a thing that you need to have a team to be able to do what is needed. And that's the strength of Bayern Munich at the moment, of this team that Vincent Company has created. PSG looking to make changes. Lucas Hernandez set to come on for Nuno Mendes. Yeah, cramps. It's been a high intensity game. I think the top players would have run about 12, 13 kilometers. Incredible game by both these teams. Just crazy to think what's been happening over out there in Paris. And after the fifth from Dembele, from the 59th minute onwards, it's been one-way traffic. And that one-way traffic has been Bayern. Incredible game by both these teams. Bayern just need one more goal to even out things. And then both teams can go again next week in Munich. So how much money it costs for a Bundesliga or Champions League match? Raj, it depends on which city, what ground. A match day like this will cost you a few million, right? So that's it. So a match with security and other things will cost you quite a bit in that. Michael Olise chips it. Oh, and nobody makes the runs. That Bayern keep on pressing PSG. They're waiting for that mistake from PSG. at Bayern. So, what's your opinion on Mbappe? Is the rift between Vinny and him because both want to play? Said Utsav, I don't know, and I don't care if there is a rift between them. These two are top players, but they're not team players, right? I think that's the thing that one has to understand, and then that's the problem of character. How was the match, Shubash? If you haven't watched it, you're missing one of the best games. Scott Scalia and Nuno Mendes going out with Lucas Hernandez and and Seni Mayulu, the youngster coming on as well. Draw would be perfect. Yes, I totally agree with you, Raj. I think 5-5. Again, I don't know if anyone has bet 5-5. But this has been a crazy game of football. Intense, yeah, not the best defensive game. That I think has to be said, but um, it is one of those games where you as a football fan enjoy of watching this football, right? It's the best you can get. Again, um, we rather watch a 5-5 than a 5-4 than a 1-0, and that's the reality. All out, Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz looking to play the ball forward. Oh, the ball comes through to Harry Kane. Harry Kane, oh, doesn't play it well. Cleared by PSG. Better in this phase. Clearly, more of the ball, trying their best. Again, PSG is hanging there. Oh, yeah. Cleared by Bayern. Harry Kane. But this was offside, doesn't take the ball. So I often do watch Bayern match on stadium. Living far from me. What if I live more than 600 kilometers away from Munich? So therefore, it answers your question. I sadly, rarely get to see Bayern matches, guys. Yeah, that's something which is the case, and um, yeah, that would be nice. And no, I'm not going for the next leg as well. Sadly, PSG with the ball. Can they keep it the way it is at the moment, or is there one last twist to this game? Is there a 6-4 or is there a 5-5 in this encounter? Goretzka can't get to it. PSG with the ball. Ruiz. Vitinha. 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 Hernandez. Vitinha. Yeah, it's a crazy game. Intense game football. What was your role? Raj, I was part of the international team at Bayern, focus on the Indian market. And yeah, PSG keeping the ball a little bit more. 5-4 is a tricky result for the two teams because nothing won, nothing lost. Bayern win 1-0 and it goes into extra time. And that's the thing. Oh, that was the shot from young Semi Mayulu against the crossbar. It looks like Ashraf Hakimi has injured himself. Crowd looks tense, yeah. I mean, if you were leading 5-2 and thought, okay, we have the game in the bag, and the opponent scores 2, and it's suddenly 5-4, and suddenly all to play for, then that is a crazy, crazy football game. In the last, or entering the last minute of the game, Ashraf Hakimi really, no, and then it looks like it's not going to come back. Pedri with the ball. Yeah, Bayern need maybe one last attack. Hakimi. I think he wants to come back on. That's hurting too much. It's one of those games that if you haven't watched it, watch the 90 minutes of replay. Don't watch the highlights. It's worth it. It's more Safanov with the ball out. Can Bayern Munich come back one last time? Luis Diaz, Pavlovic, Harry Kane. Harry Kane, but that shot is not a problem. So Safanov. Yeah, okay. Because John Neves got his foot to it. 4 minutes of added time. Upamecano back to his keeper. Ta Pavlovic across to Stanisic and cleared by Lucas Hernandez against Michael Olise. Yeah, important. Upamecano keeps it in play. Bayern want that 5-5. Bayern need to do more in the last few minutes to get something out of this. Because at this moment, PSG are always able to clear their lines. Bayern Munich with the last attempt. Oh, Safanov down. Seems like Indian football tactics from Safanov. As a keeper, go down. Consider again. Oh, Lima does this nicely. Safanov, yeah, gets his hands to it. But on the way down, meanwhile, Nicholas Jackson has come on for Pavlovic for the last few seconds of the game. Is there one final chance for Bayern to get a 5-5? Or does PSG take this advantage home? That's the thing. And intense game of football. Corner for Bayern. Michael Olise to take it. Comes in. Safanov clears. Heads it on. Cleared off the line. Long and high from PSG. That was most probably Bayern's last chance. That corner. Last chance of the night. And Pancho clears. And that's the end. That's the end. Glow line clearance in the end. And Steven says, great comeback. Steven, brilliant comeback. What a game of football did we just watch in Paris? Incredible. Incredible game of football. Yeah. Rarely seen such a crazy game in the recent past. I just need to get one thing. Oh, wow. If you sit for too long in that position and you're tense. Yeah. And in the end, PSG, 5-4 winners against Bayern Munich in, one of the most intense encounters that I've seen in the recent past. And PSG take that 1-goal advantage to Munich next week, next Wednesday. And it's all to play for. At 5-2, it looked like an uphill task for Bayern Munich to get back in this encounter. But if it's, as it stands, 5-4 in the end, Bayern Munich have all to play for. And in the second leg, and that's going to be the question for PSG. Did they squander a chance? Take a better result home, from home to Munich? Or was this, one of those crazy ones that you sometimes have? And then let's see, Bayern Munich at home, for me, would be favorites against Paris Saint-Germain, if you ask me that way. And this match ends crazily. I mean, it's just one for the record books, I would say, a game like this. And let me quickly put out a tweet. Haven't done that yet, just realized that. And right. Yeah. It would be difficult to beat Bayern at home. I think, Raj, I think after this game, I think it would be advantage Bayern. Elite attacking football. PSG was out. The team, they don't know how to defend, outscore. Stephen, I think that's the same thing with Bayern Munich as well, right? I mean, Bayern Munich has done that now a few times, beat Real Madrid. They've done it in the Bundesliga. There were 2 goals down against Freiburg, 1-3-2. In Mainz, they were 3-0 down last weekend at halftime, 1-4-3. So they can do that as well. And but we've got a crazy game coming up next week in Munich. Both the teams will surely, and it's a question of what happens next week in that game, because today was just intense. It was yeah, the level of football also for both the teams. And it's one of those games. Let's quickly go through the goals. Opened in the 17th minute, Harry Kane with a penalty, 1-0 Bayern. Squatscalia equalized after 24 in a phase where I would have said, you know what, Bayern looked the better team. Then John Neves heads it in, post a corner in the 33rd. Michael Olise makes it 2-2 with a good move and easy shot into goal. Then the controversial penalty against Alfonso Davis, which to me wasn't a penalty. Usman Dembele scores. And then in the second half, within 2 minutes, Kvaratskhelia and Usman Dembele make it 5-2. But Bayern Munich hit back within 3 minutes. First that Upamecano, and then a brilliant Luis Diaz strike to make it 5-4. And um, second leg, who scores first in advantage? It's like 0-0 now. Stephen, it's not, because if you look at the Real Madrid Bayern Munich game, Real Madrid were ahead 3 times, and people would have said, "Oh, you know what? Real Madrid have an advantage over Bayern." Bayern in the end won 4-3. So therefore, it this is a game between two teams of a level of equality where they can, go for goals at both ends, and it just showed this game was just incredible and was great fun to watch. And yeah, let's wait and see what these two teams do next. But this has set a benchmark. I think next week's match. I don't know how they can cross that benchmark level that they've set this week, but a great game of football. Right. We'll slowly come to an end of this live watch along. Thanks again for joining me. Whoever did join me, if you're watching it maybe afterwards, insane game of football. 5-4 PSG beats FCB, and I'll be back in the coming days with more football content. Keep watching Arun Foot, and Madrid is not that team anymore, but can't count by patience. Steven, 100% not. But again, Bayern have that capability of shooting PSG out of the stadium as well. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens next week. But this was worth it tonight, and hope everyone of you enjoyed this. And if you're watching it afterwards, it was really memorable. Thanks.